Hey there, welcome to Downright Annoyed with Movies. I am one of the panel members, the esteemed panel members, Cookie. You might know me from Just a Little Podcast or other famous things like the Oscars, the Emmys, things of that. We won't get into details. But anyways, you are here, you are present with us, and we're going to be doing a great show because we're going to be talking about Too Fast, Too Furious, a sequel. But before I continue on, let me introduce the panel, starting with this person right there.
I popped up on the other side of you, Cookie.
There
Sorry.
you go. It's all good.
Yeah, I am Jackson, and thank you for joining us on my channel here. You can find me here every other week. Hopefully, at some point here, I'll start doing stuff again. We've been kind of had a running gag, some of us, about how we're not doing anything outside of this show. But yes, thank you, Cookie, for introducing me. Try and guess where the next one pops up.
I'm going to say...
All right.
Oh, I'm in the middle. Hey guys, it's me, Ryan. I'm from the Fake Nerd Podcast. We go live yesterday. Spoiler alert, we actually went live Saturday instead of Sunday. So check out our review of what did we watch? Venom 2. There will be some carnage. Spoiler alert, I think you should go see that movie. It's a surprise to me too. Maybe my review of this movie will also be a surprise to y'all. Can't wait to talk about whatever the hell we're talking about, cuh.
And of course, we have none other than Mr. Ken.
Oh, you're going to hesitate there for a minute, like you forgot my name.
I didn't know if it was going to be you or if Mike might have just popped out of nowhere and showed up.
Well, just as handsome, so I'll take it. So, hey, Ken from Pinky's Out Podcast, and I too am one of the ones that's on kind of a hiatus right now. But you'll find me here once a week. So
awesome.
There, and yeah, I don't know. I want to see Venom 2, whether Ryan liked it or not. So
there you go.
I was planning on it this weekend, but yeah, things didn't pan out. So hopefully,
I believe in the circus.
I went and saw, not to take away from the show quick here, but Ryan, I went and saw that movie Titane. Have you heard of that? The like body horror French movie?
I only heard about it this week, like when reviews
Me
are
too.
hitting. And I'm like, I'm usually pretty good about like knowing when things are coming out, but I'm like, oh, I want to see it now.
It was weird, dude. But anyways, yes, we are here to talk about Too Fast, Too Furious. Now, full disclosure here, this was a sequel wheel pick, so we all had to throw a sequel onto the wheel. Cookie threw this movie onto the wheel, and I guess before we even start, Cookie, why'd you pick this, or why'd you throw this on the wheel?
Well, we were talking sequels, and I was like, man, what's a good sequel that sucks? And I didn't know what to pick, and for some reason, this came into my head. And then just recently, I was talking to Mike, and he's like, you could have picked like any sequel of Fast and Furious. It didn't have to be number 2. It could have been 3, 4. I'm like, well, no, that's not a sequel then. But this is considered a sequel because it's number 2. Number 3 wouldn't be a sequel. Is that correct?
They're all sequels.
They're all sequels. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just smarter to watch those in order, but they're all sequels.
I will say though, I'm not to spoil my review of the movie. I am glad you picked this because I see no other reason to watch this other than the fact that you picked it.
Being forced to, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we watched it because it's been a while. Yeah,
long time. The last time I saw it was in the theater. Now, being as I'm assuming most of us or all of us maybe hadn't seen this in years. I'm guessing. Is that a safe assumption?
Very long time.
Yeah. Okay. What were the way we typically start the show is expectations of the panel. So I guess Cookie, you picked it. Let's start with you. What were you expecting? It sounds like you thought it was a crappy sequel. What were you expecting watching it then? Just garbage?
I loved it as a kid. So growing up, I was a big gearhead. My dad was always underneath the car working on cars. So it runs in my family. My uncle's a race car driver, a former race car driver. So it's like all this stuff for me was like, oh man, I'm gonna be reliving stuff. And I'm like, everything that I thought was great as a kid has been sucky, hence Pauly Shore. So it's like, do I want to go and say this movie is going to be a great movie? So I was like, let me drop my expectations down really, really low.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ryan, let's just go around to you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the franchise, but this is one that I haven't revisited in at least a decade because I remember not liking it when I originally saw it. And I've revisited a bunch of the other movies And even like bad ones like Tokyo Drift, I've come to appreciate now. Now the franchise has gone on for so long, there are things I can appreciate about that one. So I was excited to rewatch this, knowing that this is the worst one, quote unquote, in the franchise.
All right. And Ken, what were you expecting?
I had no expectations because I have not liked this franchise from the get-go.
So you'd poor expectations.
Poor expectations. I mean, this movie could just as easily be renamed as unnecessary shifting. You know,
hell yeah.
These cars seem to have an unlimited higher gear.
Like
hey, I
9
don't
years.
complain. I don't complain when guns don't reload. So I'm not going to complain about cars not shifting right.
There
Oh,
you go.
do. I complain about guns not reloading.
Well, that's just no fun.
My expectations were, I remembered, honestly, I think the only time I saw this was in the theater, and I think I may have fallen asleep, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So I expected it to be terrible. But there is something interesting here. So in the last few years, I have kind of grown to love this franchise too. In the schlocky, goofy action movie style. So I was excited to watch it, even though I was just like, oh no, because I remembered it being terrible. But so that would be my expectations. Now, real quick, as far as spoiler-free reviews, let's go the other way. Ken, did you sit through the entire movie this week?
I did.
Okay, so what's your spoiler-free review of the movie?
Spoiler-free. I would say this is a great background noise to have on while you peruse TikTok.
That's better than expected. That's all right.
That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, let's move to Ryan then.
Super quick background on the last 2 weeks of all the movies I've watched. So I watched Malignant, which is like, I think perfect camp, like nonsense. Like, I think like making a really silly thing on purpose, Malignant's great. I watched Michael Mann's 1983 horror movie, The Keep, a movie he hates so much, he tried to get that thing destroyed. That's a schlocky horror movie that not a lot of people like, that I think there's a lot of great value in there. Because it's somebody who doesn't make horror movies making a horror movie. So there's a lot of new stuff in there that doesn't really hold up, but I think it's really cool. I watched Venom 2. Andy Serkis knows how to do some good schlock, my man. I watched Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious or whatever. And as someone who likes this franchise a lot, it's surprising to think that this was actually the start of what I like about the franchise and not the first one. Because the first one is just a Point Break ripoff with no real good like style. Like, it's just like, it's this one, for better or for worse, has a lot of style to it. I think there's a lot of merit to it. I think the stunts are really cool. I think there's a lot of really good stuff. I think there's a lot of merit to this movie people don't give credit
Ryan's
to.
face is cracking as he's
right.
He's like,
because there's a side to it. There's a side to it. I don't think this is a great movie, but I do not think it's the piece of shit that I thought it was. I think there's some tremendously great stunts in this movie that we'll talk about. I think it's better than people give it credit for. It's still probably the worst in the franchise.
Okay, cool.
All right. Cookie, what's your spoiler-free review?
Spoiler-free
Too
review.
Fast, Too Furious.
I don't know where to begin on crap. I'm a Paul Walker fan. I'm a Fast and Furious franchise fan as well.
Oh,
and
Paul Walker's the worst part of the movie. Spoilers.
He sucks at acting.
Yeah,
but different,
yeah.
totally different. And I love Paul Walker. He sucks at. They all suck at acting, and it's like you have to come to the expectation knowing that this movie is crap. The acting is crap. The stunts are like coming out of like Transformers and Ninja Turtles with all the explosions.
There are barely any explosions.
There's explosions of badness.
Yeah. Sure. I'm not gonna try to convince anyone this movie is good, but I think there is a lot of merit to the.
It's not terrible. I will.
Well, it's like we now know why they ended up in space. It started off jumping a railroad track, then it jumped a bridge to a boat, and now
if the buddies can go to space, why not Fast and
Furious? That's movie escalation. Like, I'm not gonna get mad. Iron Man started as a dude in the suit and he's gone into space. You can't do that to exclamation for a 20-year-old franchise.
For sure.
The only one that I hadn't seen up until maybe a few months ago was Tokyo Drift. Now, Ryan, you kind of made an insult to Tokyo Drift earlier. Did I hear that right?
No, I was saying like before. Once I revisited Tokyo Drift, there's things I really like about it.
I would say that this is far and away worse than Tokyo Drift. This is like, it's offensive. And I'm not one easily offended by like PC type shit.
Interesting.
It is it treats
Cringy.
its female characters like pieces
of
meat. Which
like the chick in front of the pink car. I'm like, come on.
I mean,
you're like throwing a band-aid over your nipples, basically.
Personally, like for me to say that is shocking because I enjoy that. Like typically, like I can see it for what it is. But this movie, like the main love interest in this, like the quote unquote chemistry between Paul Walker and the main love interest. Like it is the essence of like they're only together because they're both good looking actors.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there.
So
did she have 10 words in the whole movie?
She did. They just weren't good. So everything I'm gonna defend about this movie honestly has nothing to do with like Paul Walker or like the plot. Like the things I like about Fast and the Furious mostly are the great stunts. I think we need to move on. We need to get into the spoiler stuff now.
Let's talk about the movie. So
you need to give a synopsis of what the movie's about.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. I don't know if he put these. I don't know if he put
the movie's about. They're too fast and they're too furious.
He may have put these banners on here in different order, so I might have gone in the wrong order. But let's talk about the plot. So basically, our movie opens and Paul Walker, right off the bat, is called in to race his car against 3 others for some loot. Right?
After the first movie, he's on the run, so he goes to Miami.
Right. He goes to Miami and he's set up to race these 3 people. They have the race. There's no like question as to who's going to win, in my opinion.
So here's the thing. I don't think this movie is great, but I think this opening act, I think it's pretty good. I'm a big fan of the Wachowski's Speed Racer movie. And this movie was doing anime speed shit before even that movie was doing it. I think the driving in this movie is particularly pretty good. Especially like it's early 2000s. It's like, this is a high budget movie, but again, it's early 2000s. So like I think the stunt work is pretty good, especially at this first race. I think it's a pretty good race.
You don't think they look real?
You don't think they didn't just borrow the hyperspace special effects from Star Wars every time?
That's a style though. Yeah, like it's guys, it's have you ever seen Initial D or like any, like it is a style choice, and you might not like it, but like I prefer that than just remaking Point Break for a 3rd time. At least he's trying something here.
I will say this though to you, Jackson, those cars are all real and they are all super, super expensive cars.
Yeah, no, the cars are real.
Cars
but
are not.
Hold on. The cars are real.
Front.
Stop it. The cars are real, but they aren't real when the camera's going in one, out of it, going.
Oh yeah,
into another,
no.
out.
Yes, that's no.
They move like they move like they're on skates.
Oh, so that is the problem with, again, it is a early 2000s movie, so the CG cars don't look particularly good because there are some things that like you can't do back then, like, and that is I will give credit to that. Yeah, like. Anyway, so the race is actually a setup because they need Paul Walker, the cops do. They need Paul Walker to basically run as a driver for this mobster. Now, I'm not quite sure why they needed to set him up in this intricate race and like why Eva Mendez's character, who is a cop, was there. I don't really understand that, but
customs.
Okay, so
yes.
So she is basically she's a talent scout for a really good racer to work for her boss. That's all it is. She's scouting, and then she happens to pick the guy who's an undercover cop, and then it's like, oh shit, like this guy is an undercover cop. He can totally help us with this operation.
Got it. Okay, so Ryan, they didn't know who he was until they caught him.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a stupid movie coincidence thing, but again, like it's a movie, so
Nope. That actually solves that checks off a box for me.
And I'm going to say right now, those are not expensive cars. Cookie, the Mitsubishi Eclipse there is like a $15,000 with like $80,000 of stupidity put on it.
No. You're right. I'm saying, all right, these sitting here.
Same
so
with
you
the
have-
RX-9 there, the pink one. That's a piece of crap car.
That's an
somebody saved.
S2K Honda
The
S2000.
Skyline.
You have a
Same thing.
Skyline. You have
Yeah,
a
it
That
costs
was
like
illegal in America.
It costs
'Cause it's
$8,000
right-hand.
brand new.
Yeah, but
No, it does
but
not.
Ken, these aren't CEOs, man. They got
I
to
know.
work with
I'm
what
just
they
saying,
got.
Okay,
you know?
another thing. Okay, so
It irritates me.
another thing I really like about this franchise, and I know we're in the middle of a plot, but it's just like the thing I really do like about the Fast and the Furious franchise that it becomes, it's globetrotting and it's incredibly diverse. And the start of this movie, it shows all the different cultures involved in street racing. You have the people who are like Spanish or Black or Asian, but they also listen to rock or like Latin or like country music, and it's just like it's a cool infusion of like all these people are brought together through cars, and it's a thing about family. And like again, I know that's stupid, but like it starts here in this movie, and I'm like, I think all that stuff's really cool.
Yeah, but it's all like to get everyone to come pay money to
It's
see their movie.
situational. It's
Yes, of
it's in
course, but
Miami.
dude, I know it's hard to understand, but like
How are you not
representation
gonna have that in
matters.
Miami, though.
Yeah.
I mean, every block is a different cultural neighborhood.
Yes,
I mean,
and it's nice for that to be on the screen instead of just casting a bunch of white people like every other
when's
movie
it
does.
not on the screen? I hate it when people bring up, "Oh, the diversity of the movie is so fantastic." Who cares?
Well, I mean,
a white person
Miami-
wouldn't, Ken.
Crap.
Hold
Yeah.
on. We have,
Yeah,
first
but
of all,
Ryan,
my opinion
Ryan,
doesn't matter.
hold on. Ryan, you're
Yeah.
giving them credit for like it's
It
this.
was not planned like a rainbow coalition.
Hold on,
I'm
we
not
might
saying
mute
it's
Ken.
like
Hold on,
I'm
let's
not
mute
saying
Ken.
I'm not saying it's like changing
Hold-
the world, but I'm saying it's nice.
Yeah, but it's just to bring in more money for your movie.
Yes, that's
there's
still
nothing wrong with
good.
that, though.
Right. I know, of course there's nothing wrong with it, but let's not like act like come on, it's a street racing movie. I mean,
Yeah.
they had multiple different types of characters in the first one, didn't they?
They
It wasn't
did,
like
yeah.
Ja Rule and
Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez was in
Yes.
the first one. So this wasn't the start of that.
No, it was the continuation. Yes, you are correct. on that,
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I would
It's the
say that
sequel.
this always
Yeah.
this franchise has done a really good job of like catering to
Everybody. That's why it's a
every
billion-dollar
market.
franchise. Yes.
Yes, and they know what they're doing.
It's crazy. If you cater to everybody, you make more money. It's crazy how it works in both ways. It's crazy.
I don't know.
Um,
Star Wars has proven that doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah,
Ken.
but they're still making money.
Okay.
Yeah.
we can't start there with the original trilogy. Okay.
A good movie is a good movie. Doesn't matter.
No, it's true. We have to move on from this. This isn't the show for
But
this.
yes,
I'm not about
Um,
the rainbow. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. I don't care who the actors are.
Sure.
oh, God damn it. Of course, Mike's not here. The show just goes off the rails. But no. So after that scene, then basically there's actually a pretty fun little scene where they bring in this guy to essentially they pick him as his partner, right? For the undercover mission. And he's like a dumbass who like doesn't realize the
Slurpee man. Yeah.
Yeah, so that gives him the excuse to be like, yo, I get to pick my own partner, cuz. And he goes and they pick Tyrese. And they go and they pick Tyrese.
The dialogue in this
He
movie.
picks his buddy Tyrese. So okay. So like this, I think this is the one relationship in the movie that kind of works, I would
Dude,
say.
yeah, Roman has been in this franchise like almost in every movie since then, except for like 3 and stuff. But like, I forgot how much he is so good in this movie, and like I really like that character, and he has known that character like who he is from the beginning, and he just gets sillier and sillier. Like he still tried to steal from the big mafioso boss, like in the middle of trying to do a job. Like that is so stupid and ridiculous. Like I think
And it's
that's
a cutter. Like out of all things,
Yeah.
you steal
it's
a
not a
cutter.
big deal. Yeah, it's just like it's a nice character choice.
So we go get Tyrese, and of course there's like some bad blood, so they set up a whole arc for the two characters and their relationship. And I actually will say points to the movie, I think that works really well. But basically he doesn't want to come, but essentially what ends up happening is Tyrese and Paul Walker both get offers to like remove everything from their previous records, so they would have a clean slate in life, whatever. And they take the mission, and essentially the mission is to be drivers for this mobster in Miami. And Eva Mendes is an undercover customs officer who is dating the main villain of the movie.
Being used by him a whole lot.
Yes. And
she's really into her role.
Yes. But basically, I mean, that's there's a mission. They need to make a run for the guy. And to your point, Ryan, this is kind of where this started, because like, okay, we're gonna go from, you know, we're stealing from trucks to now we're escalating to like an undercover mission with the mob, and then in the fourth movie, I forget what even happens in that one.
That's
but basically every
tunnels.
movie,
That's the tunnels.
every movie just gets progressively more ridiculous.
3 is the
plotting.
Yakuza. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. So let's see here.
Yeah, the plot here isn't particularly like there's a big overall mission, but it's just a lot of like them like in mid fighting and like small racing scenes and stuff.
There were many times where it felt like a bad Bond movie to me.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah.
You had like your
villain.
mustache twirling villain, and you know he's doing like a torture scene. He's kind of
that thing was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So basically, a love interest sparks between Paul Walker and Eva Mendes. I don't know when that happened.
In the script.
The original, once they locked eyes, it was game over.
Right, exactly.
True,
so the whole movie, like the females in this movie, particularly her, to me is just, you know, ridiculous. And I just want like a real.
You're right.
Character.
You know, and it is a shame. That is one of the big detractors for this movie, because this is a franchise that like usually doesn't like make them damsels in distress or treat them poorly. Like Michelle Rodriguez, like you're right, is like a badass.
Right, and Jordana Brewster was like a real character too.
Yeah, and just like Eva Mendes is just like getting like her ass slapped and just like, where were you last night? I was hanging out with my friends, and I'm like, aren't you like a cop? Like, what are you doing?
She shows up at one point to like his boat where Paul Walker stays. He stays on like this boat,
and she like shows up in the shower.
What the hell was that?
Ken? Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, wait, did I miss something?
Did she get out of his shower? Like,
she's
like soaking wet.
There's like a sunroom thing, whatever.
That's where she escaped through.
She fell in the pool before. She fell.
Yes, apparently so. Very, very.
She swam down the canal to get to.
She was running. Yeah. She ran a long distance. And, you know, Miami's hot. Exactly.
All right. I want to talk about.
Hold on. Let's talk about the torture part.
Yeah.
Because in about a midway point of the movie, we do get kind of an interesting scene where, like, the bad guy tells them, like, "Hey, come hang out at our club. We need to fill 10 minutes of screen time, whatever." So they all meet at his club or whatever, at some club, and basically he sees Paul Walker being touched by Eva Mendes, and he gets all like, you know, uber like possessive. And then essentially he wants to basically, he's still setting up the fact that he's going to give them a 15-minute window to do this job in a couple days. So he brings in like the head of like some officer group.
The same
Miami
detective
PD.
from Batman Begins.
Yes, the Batman Begins guy, Sons of Anarchy. Yes.
Yeah.
Always the same guy. Yeah.
He
brings him in. Yep. He brings him in and he essentially like tortures him with put a rat in a bucket and put it over his stomach and light the bucket on, like burn the bucket until the rat gets so hot it has to dig through, which I believe
is a
Game of Thrones. Yes, Game of Thrones did this too.
Yep, they did it with coals. They'd put like a brass cauldron and then they'd put coals on top of it. And as the rats got, you know, trying to escape, they'd burrow through.
But yeah, that's
technical name
for
that.
That in particular is a scene where it's like, oh, this is actually kind of a badass scene.
I was kind of hoping the rat would do its job.
Yeah,
just a little bit, like a little bit,
a little bit, little nibble.
Yeah. There were like some scratches drawn on his stomach.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like the villain for the most part. I do think, like, again, the script's horrible, but I do think Cole Hauser, who's the actor playing the villain, I think like he has a presence to him, but the script isn't there for him most of the time. I think, but I think he has a good evil presence.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's a Miami mobster, whatever.
He's very like one note. A little bit more, I think, with him and Eva Mendes. Like, their at-home relationship would have been good. I think, like, maybe a scene where she's like trying to steal like a file out of his filing cabinet in his office or something, and something. There's just a lot of missing like expositional type stuff.
Poor Eva Mendes, because like she did this and then she did like Ghost Rider, and she's like, man, just like all of these movies, like this period of her career, it's just like bad blockbusters. I'm like, oh,
she's very nice to look at
for sure. That's why Hollywood movie stars.
Yes.
But
I was just happy to see Michael Eli in there.
But yeah, so where are we at in the plot now? So halfway through the movie, that happens.
Through the movie, yep.
Their mission is basically what do they have to do, Cookie? What do they have to do
get
for
money?
their mission?
For that first mission, they just have to get a package from his impounded Ferrari that's in a boatyard.
Oh yeah, there's that. But what about like the main mission?
The main mission.
A bunch of money in a trailer park.
Yeah, take some money from a trailer park to a certain excluded destination and go from there.
So, I mean, am I missing anything from the entirety of the plot of this movie?
There's no way you can oversimplify this plot.
Hey, it's less than 2 hours. Like it's just
its good redeeming quality.
I will say to that point, Ryan, it does seem to have at least, it might take itself a little seriously at times, but at least it understands like this is I mean, I wasn't bored. I didn't I wasn't like, oh, when is this going to end? You know what I mean?
See, the thing about this, so this is directed by John Singleton, who also has passed away, like Paul Walker, which is a shame. But that dude is like an Oscar-winning like director. So I feel like he came into this movie, he was trying to make a different type of movie than half the actors in this movie, because half of them at this point in their careers, like honestly, they're not particularly good. I do think Paul Walker over time becomes better, but I'm being honest, I don't think he ever becomes a great actor, even in like the final movies. But I think like he's still fun to watch on screen, right? Like I think he's really good. I don't think he's good when he's talking jive and he's just talking. When he's emotional and he's like, get the gun away! Like I think that stuff works. I think when he's emotional, it works. But like, that's not this movie. What this movie is.
Like the entirety of that movie, running scared.
You mean
listen.
This movie? This movie's good.
I like that movie.
The original one's better.
Oh God!
Totally.
We don't watch the original.
Oh wow!
Nice
apples and
callback
bananas.
there.
Thank you.
Nice callback. Yeah, that was a reboot of Running Scared.
It is kind of crazy though that like John Singleton did like Boys in the Hood, and he did like Four Brothers, and then you have this in his repertoire, and it's like, you know what good acting is, and you've had rappers in there.
Hey, he had bills to pay, yo.
Hey, I think the soundtrack is good.
Bills, bro.
I think the soundtrack is good. Okay, let's talk about so on the first mission to get the thing from the Lamborghini, the stunt with the Mustang. The stunt with the Mustang in between the two semis, that's a great stunt. That car actually gets trained.
No, the stunts are pretty good.
Yeah, that is terrific. And then at the end,
he
when we get to the plot.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's fine. It's a movie.
Okay.
The guy in the car who got like run over by the
airbag.
He's dead, Ryan.
Airbag.
Come on.
Airbag.
I did like the
airbags.
I did like the ejector seat. That was pretty sweet.
I love it.
I like the John Singleton point too, because like clearly this movie is aiming towards like that market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going, they're trying to put a little bit more like, I don't know, shit. How do you even say it?
What market are you trying to?
Cultural. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, no, right. You know what I mean though, right? So, but John Singleton having done Boys in the Hood, it's like, how the fuck did he not know how horrible that would look with Paul Walker? I mean, it just looks so bad.
Also to Ken's point, it is a paycheck.
It's a paycheck.
I think that first movie is good, but like it is a Point Break ripoff, and like it is cheesy and hokey, and like it again also has good racing stuff, but like
it made $236 million.
There you go. He knew what movie he was coming in to make. I don't think he maybe was qualified to tackle the type of tone he really wanted. Because again, like the Fast and Furious franchise has become wild. And like the first movie has like good car stunts, but like this is the movie where it's like, all right, we're starting to like get into bigger territory. All right.
I heard in the next one they're going to stop a Sharknado.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Crossover. No, next one's time travel.
How do you guys feel about Ludacris?
I like him. I like all
his
the
music.
His
music's okay.
Like him in the film. Like, do you think that he actually fits, or?
I mean, he fits, but it's
better.
They all
fit.
Right?
It's interesting that he becomes a completely different. Like he keeps his personality, but he becomes like the tech bro when he's not at all that character in this movie.
He's not. Yeah.
Like he becomes like a super genius, and again, all of those movies, they're all superheroes at that point. But it is the biggest character difference where like, he just used to like bet on like jet skis. Like what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a fun little character, but
he's definitely more of a side character than Roman is. Like Roman is like the second lead in this movie.
What happened to Ja Rule's character? Has he been back since the first one?
No,
They've all come back in some ways, but I don't think he has.
I don't think Ja Rule came back.
No,
he was in the first one, I think. Unless I'm
he
crazy.
was racing. Yeah.
I don't think he came back. Maybe he was too busy doing stuff.
They were like, "Oh, Ludacris is bigger now. We'll just put Ludacris in instead."
There you go. No one's gonna know the difference. No one's gonna know.
So Vinny D is obviously missing from this movie, and I do think you feel it. Because Paul Walker cannot carry a movie by himself. Luckily, I think Roman really does help this. I think their chemistry is good. But Vinny D was off in space, being Riddick. The Furies.
He did make it back for a big cameo in part 3, though. Tokyo Drift at the end.
Oh, so do you know the reason he's in that movie?
No.
They wanted him back for 3, like to be in the movie, and he's like, I'm too busy failing a franchise. Riddick is cool, but it's not working right. But he's like, I'm doing Riddick, and he's like, okay, will you please be in a cameo, and then we'll fund your next movie, and then we'll give you a producer credit on the next Fast and Furious movie, and that's 4, where they all come back together and stuff, and that's when the franchise really kicked off. Right. So they just paid him a shit ton of money and said, please come back, we need you. Paul can't carry it.
Well, thank God, because you're right. Like,
yeah.
And I'm shocked that I didn't like 8 very much, and I definitely didn't like 9. But,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
But I do think that the movie is more dependent on Vin Diesel than it is on Paul Walker, the franchise.
Yeah, Vin and his family.
Yes,
is definitely like core. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so I mean, it ends. They catch the bad guy. Eva Mendes and Paul Walker like blow each other little kissies as they walk away.
There's a sick stunt with a car jumping onto a boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's cinema, guys. That's awesome.
Right. And don't forget the magic 5-port harness that just magically appears on Paul Walker, but not Roman.
But not Roman. He straps in over the waist.
I got a question about that last scene. So the bad guy says, like, hey, take Eva Mendes downstairs to his henchmen or whatever, right? So, and then they walk down into the basement of the boat, the bows of the vessel, or however what hell you want to say it. And then all of a sudden she pops up with a gun.
It's a shotgun.
He had a shotgun.
He had a shotgun.
Yeah.
She took his gun.
So so the implication is that she whooped the asses of like the henchmen that were down in the.
Yep.
She is a customs officer.
She is a customs agent.
See, here's the thing.
Make sure you don't bring in illegal fruit.
If they would have showed her being competent and kicking ass in the whole movie, then her just showing up, that makes sense. But they didn't. They didn't show any of that.
Well, so why don't you just show her, like, have a little 2-second fight scene where she
wouldn't be shocked if it got cut from the movie, to be honest.
That's true.
Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Just didn't look right. It looked bad, so we just
too many women doing good things. Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
The only action she had is when she held that one dirty detective down when he held his mouth while he put the rat on his stomach.
That's it.
But it is funny. I mean, that's the main thought that I had out of this is I still like think, okay, well, these Fast and the Furious movies, like there's TNA all over the screen and they're total dude movies or whatever. Like I still think that about the last 3 or 4 that they've made. And then I watched this and I was like, holy shit, has it gotten better? Has it gotten better than it was? Because like the Suki character or whatever, the chick with the
Suki.
perfect body, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that girl, like she's kind of a badass. But she's not like the main love interest of the movie.
She's also again like not written super well. And like I think Devin Aoki is cool, and she's been in a bunch, like she was in a lot of action movies like during that era. And I think she has a good screen presence, but again, the script fails a lot of people, and like a lot of actors have to carry it themselves, and they can't carry it.
They can't, right?
They can't. Yeah. Honestly, I think like again, like seeing where we are now at 9, like Roman, I think Tyrese is like maybe the best in this movie of all the characters. I think he's having the most fun. He knows what movie he's in. I found myself like, oh yeah, like there's a reason I like this character. I forgot he was the start in this movie. That's one reason I kind of appreciate this movie a little more, because like it is the foundation for a lot of stuff that wasn't in that first. And I'm like, the stuff I like about this franchise isn't in that first movie.
I like some of these movies too, because I kind of watch the background actors to see who became actors after this movie, whether it's in television shows I like Michael Eli, the guy that drives the little gold Eclipse. He's in that show Almost Human? With, with Bones from Star Trek and The Boys. He's also in a show called Stumptown, which is really good. He's a great actor. I mean, and in this movie, it's like they so didn't use him. So.
Well, there's a lot of characters.
He was in a show called Splinter Cell, like a terrorist show on Showtime, and he was also in The Following. He's like one of those guys. He's turned into like quite the TV actor.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
I thought a lot of the side characters, like the goons of the mafia guy, like who get ejected, but he's like, man, you do drive really good, man. He's like, whatever, man. Like that little interaction in the cars was fun.
Those were sweet cars at the end there, though. The old muscle cars, I like that stuff. Yeah,
I'm not like a big car guy, but I definitely can appreciate like a big tough American muscle car. Like I think, that is pretty cool.
I would have loved to hear a supercharger though.
Oh,
just that little wind. That made it good.
All right, so before we get into our final review, we do have the Devil's Advocate game to play. So we are going to do that now. Now, Mike isn't here with his working computer to do the wheel, so I'm going to attempt this. No, I'm going to attempt it. But you probably are just going to have to trust me because it's going to be so blurry that you won't be able to see.
I get picked every time.
So, it's you and me. It's always you and me get picked.
Right?
I did it once and I did great.
So
it's because I hated the movie.
So let me hear.
Oh my God, it's already frozen.
Any second.
Are you doing a cleanse, Cookie? Are you drinking lemon water?
I am drinking lemon water.
I'm drinking a lemon brisk.
There you go.
All right. It is spinning.
I don't believe you.
But I will let you know Ryan is going to be the for the movie.
I can't even hear him.
I heard me. I think I'm a for it.
I heard Ryan, yeah.
And
I heard Cookie against. So.
No.
Yep.
And I think Jackson's not even here right now.
Yep. The case against.
You need a new potato, Jackson.
It's almost Black Friday.
Oh, that's just no. I don't want to do this.
No, it's for against. Like you're against it.
And it's me. It was me.
There you go. See you
okay. You got to get the wheel out of here so I can see you again.
All right.
Yeah, so your computer doesn't
hold
have a
on. Somebody should prep a wheel. Or we should prep somebody. Somebody should prep a wheel for who picks next week's movie, by the way. We don't have to do genre. But somebody should prep a wheel. Who can do that? Wheelofnames.com.
Cookie, can you do it? I got to argue.
All right. So, so first, the first one is up here now. I'm going to bust out a timer.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Hold on a second.
I can do the timer if you want.
Timer. We'll just do stopwatch. So, Ryan, in 30 seconds, please tell us why Too Fast, Too Furious is the greatest film of all time.
You got it.
Go.
Hey guys, Ryan here. John Singleton directed the camp classic, Too Fast, Too Furious. You want a movie that has tons of fun, great stunts, great effects for the time, great looking people, silly dialogue, great locations, Miami, baby. Welcome to Miami, Will Smith, baby. Then you got Too Fast, Too Furious. Paul Walker, rest his soul. How are you going to say something bad about a dead person? You're a piece of shit if you do that. Let's see. Tyrese is super fun in the movie. Miami's beautiful. Welcome to Miami, baby.
Miami. I can't speak Spanish.
I thought I was going to have to mute you, but yes. Okay. So there you go. That's why it's the best. Now, I think it's the worst movie of all time. Basically, if you want a movie about strong, independent women, and, really deep relationships, dramatic tension, you never know what's coming next. If you want like really awesome like fight scenes, action, like stuff that's got you on the edge of your seat, basically this movie is the antithesis of all of that. So that's all I got.
That was good. This might be the first really hot, really solid one. I like it.
Damn. I don't know. So that's kind of hard. Did Cookie and I have to decide?
Yeah,
you get to decide. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Oh man, this is tough.
It's hard because I see both their points. It is a pretty
Yeah.
misogynistic view of women.
100%.
I'm
And-
probably gonna
and-
go with Jackson.
Yeah, but you remember the boat and the car?
I am gonna go with Ryan.
Oh my god!
No, I'm
All
gonna go
right,
with Jackson. I will go with Jackson.
Jackson, you made it. That's a antithesis is a great word. I love that word.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's the antithesis. Basically, it's
That's
the
a very
opposite.
big
But
word. Yeah,
all right.
I know what antithesis means.
so grades. Cookie, you pick this. What's your grade?
D plus.
Initial D plus.
Ryan?
Solid C.
Oh wow. Okay. Ken?
I gotta agree with Ryan. I'll give it a C.
I'm gonna give it a D. Straight D.
Initial D.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah, just standard D.
Even if it's ridiculous.
that's a
if you
good
like
anime,
car
by the way,
stuff,
too.
It's so good. So
All right, I'm
It's a
not
great
going to
anime.
share. I'm not going to share my screen, so it'll bog down the feed.
What
But
anime?
I am going to say, who am I missing here? Ryan. Okay,
I got it.
Paula.
I got
you
it.
got it. Oh, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yes,
oh
sir.
shit! Look at that. Somebody
Oh,
with a
shit.
real computer. All right,
Please
so
be
we're
me.
adding the wheel to the screen.
he
been a
can't
while.
afford real doors, but he can afford a real computer.
All right,
Hell
shuffle
yeah.
that and hit the start button.
Let it be me.
All right.
Let it be me.
I really need a win.
Yeah,
It
but
is
if you win, Ryan,
Is it
you got
you?
to do
Please.
Oh.
Oh,
the
All right,
treat.
guys.
Come
So
on.
this is fantastic, and I wish Mike were here too and Paul, so like we can get like everyone in. But there are 3 movies on this list, and I'm gonna pick the movie that you guys seen who's seen this movie the least of. All right, so like They Live, John Carpenter's They Live. Who's seen this movie? Okay, Prince of Darkness. Who's seen this movie? The Thing. Who's seen this movie? Okay, so we're gonna watch because this is the one I've seen the least. Prince of Darkness,
Good.
directed by John Carpenter. I watched this movie once when I bought this DVD like a decade ago. I'm watching nothing but horror movies all month except for
Dude.
what I do on here.
Ryan, this is great. I just watched that last week.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Easy,
haven't
easy
seen that in
homework.
a long
Yes.
time.
It's been a while too. I'm super stoked to watch it again.
I remember
Yeah.
liking it though when it came out.
Mhm.
And by
this
the
is
way,
one of
Red
his,
Letter Media just put up a video. It's part 1 of 3 where they're discussing John Carpenter's movies and ranking them, and I highly recommend it.
They're one of my favorite people on YouTube. I already watched it.
All right. So, hey, everybody, time to say our, I believe it's time to say, and maybe I didn't keep up on these banners, but, and I did.
Sound of music.
So next week we will be watching, what were we watching again? Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
So yeah, make sure that you come back to watch us discuss Prince of Darkness. Kind of a fun
Alice
little-
Cooper's in it.
Mhm.
Yes, he is. But yes,
native.
be sure to go over to Downright Nerdy podcast channel to sub up and make sure you don't miss our discussion of Prince of Darkness next week. Time to say our goodbyes, and we will start downstairs with Ken.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for watching yet another fantastic episode of Downright Annoyed with Movies. I mean, look at these guys. You couldn't be more different, but we all have fun and laugh and disagree, and nobody gets shot. Hey,
That's only because we're not near you, Ken.
I'm a pretty good sniper, so that's no guarantee of safety for me. So
All right, Ryan.
Hey guys, I'm not a gun guy, but I got a couple of ninja stars, so don't get too close to me.
you and
You could-
Steven Seagal.
listen, he's my brother from another mother. All right, that dude's living his life in Russia, being
Ninja
their
star.
god. You guys should watch videos of Steven Seagal doing martial arts in Russia, where he's like force pushing
He's-
people down.
Yes.
What?
Hilarious.
That dude is a
What?
legend in Russia.
Those
Oh yeah,
exist?
oh yeah, he
Hilarious.
is.
I'm
That's a whole
going
other
I'm
goal.
going to the internet right now.
I'm Ryan from the Fake Nerd Podcast. We did a review on Venom, Let There Be Carnage. You can find that on the Fake Nerd Podcast YouTube channel or on any podcast service available. I'm personally at DJ Tony Stark all over the internet. No guns, just throwing stars.
And Cookie.
Cookie, just a little podcast. Maybe a new episode coming on Tuesday. Not sure yet, but I usually drop a weekly podcast every single week talking pop culture. You can find me there on Instagram, just a little podcast. Twitter, just podcasting. You know the deal.
And since I don't have shit going on, I'm just going to take my time to congratulate Cookie on his 100th episode of Just a Little Podcast.
Thank you guys very much.
So yeah, obviously go over to Downright Nerdy, sub him up, and be there next week. Prince of Darkness should be a fun one to discuss. I have a feeling there will be a variety of different opinions on it. So
yes.
Yeah,
and
everybody.
Apparently, Steven Seagal is a member of the pro-Kremlin party.
I wasn't joking. He loves Putin, and Putin loves him.
Blown away, Ryan.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It's a great rabbit hole.
I mean, I'm no pro Putin guy, but that kind of makes me more intrigued by Steven Seagal.
Yo, dude, you're gonna go down a YouTube rabbit hole, dude. It's truly fascinating.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, we will see you next week for a John Carpenter kind of B movie, kind of classic, maybe. I don't know. Not really, but kind of underrated.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Everybody have a good week.